wireless mean to me is you cannot go across town with this wireless. It'll be global deployment. What that means is it's 2.4 gigahertz. It'll assure multi-vendor device interoperability. That's a mouthful. As long as you're one of those multi-vendor devices that interoperate, because everything doesn't work with everything else yet. It's going to be approved at ISA October 2008. It actually was approved in May of 2009. Availability 2008. It's still really not commercially available. What is WirelessHART? Objective will establish a wireless communication for process applications. Read, anybody that has HART devices, read Emerson, that's not in the SP100 committee, but owns all these HART devices, is going to come up with their own wireless standard. It's the same chipset on both sides of it. So they have their standard. Will WirelessHART complement SP100? Well, actually, there's been some new developments. I think it looks possible now. There's a company called Nidus or Nidus, depending upon who you talk to, that's just released a gateway product. We can really talk about gateways. A device that can talk to wireless sensors and then go to the enterprise. That supports both a WirelessHART and an SP100 radio. And it allows them to both communicate. This allows a wide variety of products from, I think, a number of vendors, and it allows large-scale deployments of taking the products that are now available and making them interoperable. So that has promise. This is brand new news. This is June 2009. Okay, so this is interesting. This company could be on a rocket ship to the moon if they're successful. SP100 products still a little bit behind. WirelessHART, on the other hand, let's do the math. There's 25 million HART devices installed. And I think the application is not really to make them wireless. I think the application is to pull data off of existing HART systems, i.e. diagnostic data, and wirelessly transmit that back to a PC. That could be a interesting event. All right, so that's my 2 slides on HART. And on SP100. So here's some real benefits, regardless of standards. Installation costs will be reduced by 80%. Real number. Okay? We just quoted a job with our company recently where a mini mall just opened up. It's not open anymore because they've got a lake that they need to monitor, because if the lake gets too high, the parking structure will flood. That will really annoy the customers in the mall. So they said, you're not opening this mall until you have some sort of mechanism to monitor that lake level and transmit it back to pumps or whatever and control this. The problem is, this is a brand new mini mall. It's finished. Now, the first thing, they're not going to dig up the parking structure to run wire down to this pond. So they're a perfect example of, can you do this? Yes, we can do that. What will it cost? It'll cost X. Wow, that's cheap. So it's all about the installation cost. It's not about the technology. It's about what it saves in cost. Energy savings are more than 50%. If you can monitor something that you're not monitoring now, you can control it to a higher level than you do now. So we always say, if it moves, measure it. And if you measure it and you control it, you'll have a more efficient process. Wireless allows you to measure what was previously uneconomical or impossible to measure. Real-time data means improved process. These are actual quotes from customers, what their benefit was. Reduce scrap and energy, that's probably on the waste or the steam trap side. I mean, certainly a lot of wasted energy. The boiler has to generate new steam if the steam vents by. You have to put chemicals into the boiler to treat the water. You got to burn coal or something to heat the boiler. I mean, or gas. I mean, it's just a wasteful thing when you spend all this money to generate steam, which every process generates, and you can't control it, or you don't know when you're losing it.